Banished by Sin by Deicide? More like Banished by MID. More like I hope these guys decide to write better music next time around. Ha ha! Bazinga! Bada bing, bada boom! Catchphrase! That's it! Bring it on! I don't care! Bring it on! Hell yes! I bathe in your misery and anger and hatred! Yeah, let's just get straight to the point. I've got errands to run, things to do. I want to catch up on Fallout too. I got like 2 more episodes and then I'm done with the whole show. Banished by Sin? Lame. Mediocre. Forgettable. If it were made by a band that isn't considered a death metal legend, we probably wouldn't even be talking about it at all. None of y'all would. Don't even sit here and act like oh, if this, oh man, oh, I love this album. No, if this were released by some, like, totally unknown, brand new underground death metal band, most of y'all would go like, yeah, that's fine, and then that's it. That's it. I'm willing to bet my entire month's salary on that. It's not exactly surprising, in my opinion, to find out that Banished by Sin is not great. The fact is, Deicide have been not great for quite some time. Yes, they have a few classics released back in the early to mid-90s, the self-titled album, Legion, Once Upon the Cross, but there has been a good, steady, noticeable, gradual decline in the quality of Deicide's music pretty much ever since the mid-90s. There hasn't been anything truly awful, in my opinion, on par with something like Saint Anger or Illa Divinum Insanus, and there have been a few bright spots here and there. The Stench of Redemption was alright. In the Minds of Evil, Overtures of Blasphemy, also not bad. Had a few gnarly riffs and banging moments here and there. But I feel pretty comfortable in describing the vast majority of, like, the post Once Upon a Cross Deicide output as being just mid, forgettable, unremarkable. It's fair to say that as a result of all of this, I had extremely low expectations for Banished by Sin, which were amplified by Glenn Benton being a colossal edgelord, and also by his weird usage of AI art, and also by defending the weird usage of AI art because it's provocative and therefore it's good. I mean, I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but that's more or less what he said. And I don't think I'm the only one that went into the album with low expectations, and I honestly think that's part of why the album is currently doing so well. I mean, it's not doing amazing, but I've seen generally positive reviews across the board, with only a few lukewarm or negative reviews to speak of. And look, fine, if you do happen to genuinely enjoy this album, good for you. Honestly, more power to you. Please continue to enjoy this album. I promise you I will not lie awake at night, tossing and turning and crying, because some rando online had the audacity to disagree with me. But, like, also, simultaneously, if you're gonna sit here and you're gonna tell me that this is on par with other great death metal records that we've had this year from, like, Spectral Voice, Job for a Cowboy, Slime Lord, Severus, like, I'm gonna laugh at you a little bit. If you tell me that this is on par with classic records, like the self-titled and Legion, I'm gonna laugh at you a little bit. Just be prepared for that. Straight up. Now, I will say on a more positive note, in this album's genuine defense, it does actually start off on a pretty decent note. Opening number from Unknown Heights You Shall Fall, while a basic number, is also an effective number, full of meaty mid-tempo grooves and thrashy volatile assaults and venomous snarling guttural vocals. It's got genuine energy and momentum and drive and a big, hellish, classic metal guitar solo with a little bit of melodic sizzle. Not a bad way to start off the album. Then there's Doomed to Die, which is filled with some genuinely semi-pulverizing and satisfying galloping rhythms and tight, mean, nasty death metal riffage. I like all of the different, like, guitar squeals and, like, dive bombs and stuff, you know. It feels very much in line with something Deicide might have actually done back in the day on an album like Legion. Bury the Cross with Your Christ as well is filled with some extra meaty riffage, and it just has this really slimy, ugly, depraved kind of feel and vibe to it. And I also appreciate some of the more epic and soaring and grandiose moments of a cut like Woke from God, which pulls a lot of influence from melodic death metal as well as from blackened death metal. Like, it almost feels like something Necrophobic might do, albeit with a much more sinister American death metal coat of paint. Unfortunately, though, this is where the praise train is forced to make an unscheduled stop. The rest of this album, while not outright terrible, just isn't especially all that interesting. Everything just falls kind of flat, and everything just bleeds together and starts to sound and feel the same. Stuff like Ritual Defied, A Trinity of None, I Am I, A Curse of Death, I just genuinely found kind of boring. The title track, Banished by Sin, isn't that bad. It does have an especially nasty and extreme introduction, and I do like some of those, like, pounding, muscular, like, triplet grooves that can be heard right around the middle, but I'm not gonna lie, it still eventually kind of loses my attention because it kind of eventually devolves into very basic and predictable groovy death metal. And then closing number, The Light Defeated, kind of suffers from a similar problem, just in reverse. Like, it starts off with some very rudimentary kind of like death metal shit. Like, it's something I could have whipped up in under 30 minutes in an afternoon on a lazy Sunday. And then the latter half is where we get some of the more exciting and dynamic and scorching guitar pyrotechnics and melodies and such. It's almost like Deicide realized, like, halfway through recording this thing, holy shit, this is ending the album. We gotta step it up. That's my impression of someone playing guitar. I know. Very impressive. Calm down. As per the norm of most Deicide albums as well, lyrics feel as if they've been put together quite sloppily and hastily, perhaps by an edgy 12-year-old Satanist, some kid who just heard death metal for the first time ever. Like, I get it, I really do. I'm not the biggest fan of the church either. I'm not the most Christian fellow you will find online. Shocking, I know. But goddamn, Glenn, you're a grown man. Can we please write about something else? Anything else? But I mean, we expect that, in particular, from Deicide and from anything Glenn does, so whatever. The biggest issue, something I don't ever expect from a Deicide album, the production is incredibly clean, like crystal clear and squeaky clean. And so much of this music's like natural impact and oomph and heaviness and dirtiness and grittiness has been scraped away from it as a result of this crystal clear, squeaky clean production. The album is seriously in need of depth and body, something that I feel a more primitive kind of death metal production would have given this. I'm feeling a pretty solid middle-of-the-road 2.5 out of 5. I will say, I think I enjoyed this record more than I expected to. It does have some good songs. It does have some good moments. It has ideas that I appreciate and that I respect and I don't entirely hate. But it also has, like, a lot of filler, quite a few duds, and also Glenn's complete inability to write about literally anything else, plus this, like, weirdly clean production that just doesn't work with specifically the type of death metal that Deicide makes. That just kills it for me. If you genuinely do love Deicide, warts and all, I do think you'll enjoy this record. I also think if you're just looking for a good, simple blast of evil, in-your-face, death metal, extreme metal, madness, and you're not really concerned about how intelligent it is, or, you know, you're not concerned about things like production and blah, 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 boom, congratulations, you'll enjoy this. I stand by my claim that if this were released by a brand new death metal band instead of Deicide, a lot of you guys just wouldn't fucking care, but whatever, you're more than welcome to try to prove me wrong and argue that this is the best death metal album of the year if you want. Again, more power to you. I gave it a shot, and I just thought it was kind of mid, honestly. Like, it just is whatever. It's whatever. All right, cool, whatever. Can I go watch Fallout now? Can we go listen to other stuff now? I'm ready, let's go. And that is it for the Metal Meltdown. I'm not an expert, nor do I claim to be. So what do you think? Do you like this record? Do you not like this record? And what do you want to hear from me next? And thank you for watching. Make sure you press subscribe right here so you get updates on the Metal Meltdown fucking immediately. Look, there's even more videos here. And as always, you have yourself a fantastic fucking day.